Is it recording? Is it not recording? Let's just double check. It's recording. Don't know where it's recording. Hopefully where it recorded last time. Back to the sim if it's not going to crash. Right. I want that. If I can get this working without crashing, this is going to be a quick drive. And I am going to change, because it will not let me edit this without crashing. I'm going to start a new one, create new. Because there's too many coaches on the last one. AP class 86, EP, don't you dare cat. Create new. Please do it without crashing. Create new. Create new. Confirm. Aha. Nope, it does not like that. How can it be out of memory? It's not using any bloody memory. It's using about, well, less than a quarter of memory. Dovetail games working for you. Okay, I'll just load up that train. I shall leave some bits in the station. Right, let's just check the, because I can't remember the buttons. I need the manual to get this thing started without wasting half an hour. Where's the manuals? Can't find them. Gonna be in there. It's gonna be on C drive. Where does Steam hide? In there. Steam. Steam apps. Common. Bloody Dovetail. Is it? Steamworks, I think it is. Nope. Ah, doing well today. Goat Simulator. Railworks, that's the one. Manuals. Armstrong what's it? Not class 40. Oh god. Armstrong Powerhouse 86. That's the beastie. So it's going to be electric power. We're going to be going from Preston all the way to Edinburgh in one go, because some nice person stitched all the routes together into one long one. I just need to remember how to get this thing started now. Yeah, I'm not bothered about liveries. Who cares what it looks like? Not me. There we go. Keyboard controls. Getting it going. I don't care about bloody variations. Where's the make it work thing? Tap changer. Yeah. Yes, I know how the tap changer works. Oh, you can also set the rear static. Oh, that's novel. Oh, it's so simple. Right. Oh, here we go. Shift M, Control M. One of them makes it loud. The arcing pantaloon. There we go. Raise your pantaloons. R's the button I never remember. And there's a way to change to make the tap changer audible as well. Let's just move that onto the other screen. Don't give a monkeys about the scenario editor. I can't even edit the train without the bloody program's crashing. Have I gone past the low blow tap change? Have I gone past the how to get it started button? In-cab tap changer, there we go, audio on and off. Control T. Control M, Shift M, that looks good to me. Slide you over there. Control N, right. Back to Steam. 64-bit edition, you stupid bloody program. Right, so as I said, it's about a combination of several routes. Preston to Carlisle's one, Carlisle to Glasgow's another one. I don't know. Carlisle to Edinburgh a bit. I don't know whether that's a new route written for this or whether it's one that I didn't know to buy separately and won't be buying separately. Anyway, so drive. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Quick drive scenarios. It's all set up to go from Preston to Haymarket in Edinburgh. Armstrong Powerhouse Class 86. And I can't edit that, so I'm going to have to. It's going to be long. I'm not going to reach terminal velocity unless I leave some of the coaches behind, but it won't let me edit it. So let's just start it. Oh look, an advert. And I've got to remember it's not the Run 8 keys, it's the Dovetail keys. Good chance this will be interrupted by cats. Now that the weather's turned cold, I can't get rid of them. Oh, come on, load up. Oh, here we go. Hopefully. Got some noise. Wind that up a bit more so I can hear it mutter. Right, Control T for the tap changer noise. Tap changer enabled. Let's make it so I can really hear those traction motors. Shift M increases no motor noise. It's on maximum. Right, good. Wipers are working. Oh. Please stop, thank you. That'll do. Instrument lights on. Don't need them. Okay. Anti-slip brake button is 0 apparently. AWS change ends. Here's Control N. That sounded good. That sounded like I've just enabled this end. Driver vigilance device. Control D. No idea. Anyway, it's on. Right, headlights on. Have we got my pantograph up? Yes, I have. That's that little light there saying I've got AC power. Marker lights. I don't know. Let's do that and see what happens. Shift W, master key in and out. So let's put the key in the ignition. Nothing happens. Is it in? Is it just W? Nothing happens. Shift W. There we go. That's it there. I think that's it. I think that's the key in the ignition. That's the compressor. I think. Right. Rear static brake isolation. I'll leave that one well alone. Train brake handle shutdown pin. Oh, okay, that's that. Right, the way the tap changer works, this is a electric locomotive going back to the 60s. That's a phone which is going to get lobbed across the room. Oh God, get away. That's the phone lobbed across the room. Visual aids on and off. Don't need them. They're for wimps. Right, it is a long train. 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 carriages. What possessed me to put 18 carriages on it, I do not know. But it won't let me remove them. What I might do is I'll take the last 3 off. If I can remember how to do this, let's just do that. Scroll back along to the back end of the train. Put the brakes on those 3 carriages. That brings it down to a more reasonable length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think that's better. I think 15 is realistic. Yeah, okay, so electric locomotive, AC electric locomotive, commonly used on West Coast Main Line. Class 86 and 87 seem to be very similar, apart from the windows are different. You've got 38, it's a tap changer, so it's like a transformer with 38 different power levels coming off it. So you click up and down those power levels, and the way you do that is with this big lever here. It's just reconnected those last 3, it's just reconnected those other 3 carriages. I'll need to do that again. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes, it has. I'll need to do that when I set off. Okay, so 38 power levels, tap changer. You've got about 5 positions on it. It's in the off position now, so if it goes into that position, it just disconnects everything, opens all the taps up, so all the power's off. 1 level down, it's not moving. It's not moving on the keys. Right, why is it not moving on the keys? It's because nothing's live yet. So first position, that's run down, so it will step down the power levels until it gets to 0 power. It just goes click, 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 click till it gets to 0, so it's a fast way down the 38 power levels. You've then got a steady state where it's driving along, the power level stays at whatever it's set to. So if it's set to 50, notch 15, it'll stay on notch 15. Bottom one, that will continuously click up the power levels. You've got power meters here, and you can see how much power is going to the motors. Into the ambers, okay. If it goes into the red, you'll either overheat them or wheel spin or whatever. If you overheat them, you'll have to reset the whole locomotive. It's a bit of a pain. You've got 2 other positions. So that's run up, so it'll go click, click, click up the box. Next to that, I can't really get it into it because it's just a position, a spring-loaded position. It clicks through and then back into the middle. Is to go notch up 1. So every time you do that, it'll click up 1 level. If you push it forward into again another spring-loaded position, it will run down by 1 click, so you can make small adjustments. And then, as I said, if you go all the way, it'll click into the off position and just stop. So I'm now back in the off position. I'm about to set off. So what I need to do now is basically engage 4 gear, but select forward. All the brake fans and everything kick into life, so the train is now live. I'm now in the neutral position there, and what you do to make the controller a bit more usable is if you want to go 1 click at a time, which I do, then you hold the U button down and then tap the up, and you get 1 click. And nothing's happening, either because I've forgotten to press yet another button, or because the brakes are still on. So let's press the R button to release brakes. Right, and now I can release the brakes and make sure the manual brakes are off as well. The brakes are coming off. There's the brake. There's cylinder pressure gauge or something there. Okay, you've got a bunch of gauges here. These show you how much power is going to the traction motors. As I said, you don't want it to go into the red. You've got 38 clicks up the tap changer, and that needle goes up there as you engage more and more power. I'm going to just see what happens then, see if we've got any power to it. There we go. So that's the first notch. Not a lot of power. I'm holding U down, I'm clicking up, I'm just adding power. Take it into the amber and then just let it go. Let it accelerate. So that's a heavy train behind us. And you'll see as I pick up speed, the ammeters are going to drop down. Because the faster an electric motor's going, the less current it draws. Hold U down and click a few more. Right, you can see I've gone so far up the box. I don't know how many clicks, but you can see that needle's gone up by a certain amount. This doesn't appear to be connected to anything, doesn't seem to do anything on the game. I'm assuming that you can see the mouse pointer. A few more clicks, what's my speed? As I said, the power level's dropping back a little bit. On this part of this route, this is Preston to Carlisle basically, they've modelled what you call neutral sections. About something like every 15 mile on the track, there's a break in the power, and you need to make sure your power levels are set to 0 before you go through that, because it will reset the locomotive. So you'll have, if you've got a lot of power applied and you go through a neutral section, there's a hell of a jerk on the locomotive as it cuts the power, and you then got to reset and wind that tap changer all the way back down again before you can reapply any power. So the idea is that when you see the warning for a neutral section, you start winding the power off, so it's a nice smooth transition. Right, without pressing U, I'm going to go to select up, and it's going to start winding the power on now because I'm out of the 35 mile an hour limit. Step it up a bit more. No, that doesn't help. I wouldn't want the ammeters to go much further than that, because if you do, you risk overheating or overcurrent trips, which is a pain because you've then got to try and reset it all, and I can't remember how to. Right, I'm now in maximum, which is I think the 38th step, which is all, I think they call it weak field, which means something clever, means something to electrical people, but not to me. So I'm at full power. Acceleration out, Preston. Waiting for the driver's vigilance device to kick in. Maybe that dead man's position's maybe that disables it, I don't know. Makes a change from Run 8, makes a change from American diesels and going slowly with big, huge trains. And I forgot to disconnect those 3 coaches. There's a good start. I think I'll leave them at Carstairs, that seemed like a plan. Because with the train this length, I'll never get to 110 mile an hour. We won't do it. trial scenarios, I can't set the points and head into, don't move into a passing loop and just leave those coaches there. In fact, I think what I'll do is after we've gone through the first neutral section, which I don't think is that far away, I think I'll just stop, dump those 3 coaches, because I don't think that, because this is a sort of lash-up of 4 routes, I don't think there's any other traffic on the route. So I can just leave those 3 coaches behind and not upset anything. Thing about having that, well, not head up display, head down display, is at least I've got some advanced notice of the neutral sections. It's good to know where they are before you get to them. One of them on the way up here, I think I'll ignore the warning and just let the thing trip the loco just to show you the reset process. Because why not? This is a fair old distance because it's like I said, it's a number of routes welded together. So it's going to take a few hours. All the signs were at bridges, you know, that blue and white diagonal square thing, sometimes red and white diagonal square things, I've got no idea what they mean. If anybody actually looks at this and anybody knows, please comment. Well, right, here we go, neutral section coming up, so I'm now stepping down the power levels. See, current dropping away, power level thing dropping down. Because I'm approaching a neutral section, so there's a warning. White lines on a black rectangle, it's a warning that you're approaching it to reduce your power to 0. There we go. Power off. That white light shows we've got AC connected, and when we go through the neutral section, you'll see that go out, and you'll hear the fans all stop, and they're cutting, there you go, red and white squares. Don't know what it means. Neutral section, so that's the black things on the white, what's it? Power's off. Power's back on again. I can start winding the power back up. About over 15 miles you've got to do that, and they all seem to be on hills, just to be awkward. You'll lose quite a few miles an hour there, so I'm just putting the power back on as fast as I can. 38 steps. That's how you go through a neutral section. If you stopped at a neutral section with your pantograph in the neutral section, you'd have no power and need to be towed out unless you could roll. If you can roll, I don't know whether that's possible or not. Red and white squares, don't know. Bridge warnings? I don't know. So get them for every bridge. That bell means I've got to go past a green signal, or just approaching a green signal. And you'll get a buzzer if the signal's not a green. and you've got to cancel the buzzer or you'll get emergency brakes applied. How do you? Where was? Driver vigilance device, control D. Let's turn on the driver vigilance device, and that'll kick me every time I doze off. Vigilance mode selected, so that'll start honking. That was the bell for green light. I think it's going to be Q to reset the vigilance device. I should have looked that up, shouldn't I? I think the first major station's Lancaster, not Carnforth, so I think Lancaster I'll dump those last 3 carriages. Whatever the first big station is. Oh no, it's not that. No, it's not that either. No, it's not that. I'm going to get an emergency stop. I've got an emergency stop. Alright. I don't know what the reset I don't know the reset key. Right, okay. It's that key, it's the E key. Right, okay. Now you know. Now I know. Right, so it's gone into emergency brake. You need the combined braking kicking in. I'll put the tap changer back to off, that way you get the full braking. It's not, if the tap changer is not in that position, you don't get the combined braking with the rheostatic braking, which is probably quite important. So the E key is the vigilance device. Good to know. Right, that's it. Dialing out the rheostatic braking. Okay, now we can go, I think. There we go. Right. Off with the brakes. There we go. We've got some power. Oh, shut up. Yes, it's the E key. And we're off. It's a while since I've played with Dovetail at all. I tend to spend all my train simming time on Run 8 these days. But Run 8's only diesels, only America, nearly all freight. So if you want steam or you want electric and you want a different country, you've got to come back to this Dovetail garbage. Well, not garbage, it was good in its day many years ago. And I still prefer this to TSW3, which I think it really is garbage. Working my way up the clicks, keeping it in the amber, get the speed back. In fact, no, I'm going to stop the train. Shut up. I'm going to stop the train and I'm going to dump those 3 carriages. Give it a fair bit of brakes. Stop faffing about. Okay. So, no wonder it goes slowly because the brakes were still on. Why can't I? Oh, there we go. Disengaged. Right. Brakes off. Bit of power. Get moving before we get those 3 coaches back. Come on. If you release the brakes, or was that no, just to buy the brakes? The buttons are different. Oh, shut up. There we go, bit of power, bit of forward motion, hopefully with less coaches. Come on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's better. Right, we're off. We've left some behind. No more need to stop till we get to Edinburgh. Leaping like a scolded cat. Sorry, Gandalf. Work my way up through the notches again. If you go too far into the red, you might get... Oh, do shut up. You can get wheel spin. I don't think I did get wheel spin, but as I said, you can overheat it, so I'm going to let it run back down the box, run down the power, the ampage again a bit. That was pushing me luck. That's it, full power. Beep is the driver's vigilance device that make sure you're not snoring device. It gives you maybe 2 seconds to press a button, and if you don't press a button in those 2 seconds, you get the emergency brake application, and then you come to a standstill fairly rapidly, upsetting everybody in the train. I think we're actually approaching Lancaster, so I'm going to start backing off on the power now because we've got a 75 mph limit coming up. I don't want to shut off the power all into one because that live will have people falling over. Now that honk was because I've got to a reducing speed limit. You get the same if you've got an amber light or a red light in front of you. Okay, right, power off, apply some brakes if I can remember the buttons. That'll do. Shut up. Not that button. Oh well. hear the tap changer going when it's braking, because that's the rheostatic braking. It's using the same electronics in reverse. So the traction motors are then acting as generators, and the heat's just wasted. Right, so we're approaching Lancaster. Go straight through Lancaster. I'm not stopping anywhere. Lancaster station. A through line, not a stopping line. And start winding the power up again. Getting the speed back up. Speed limit signs, one for freight and heavy passenger, which would include this. That's the upper signs, and then for high speed trains or tilting trains, the lower speed limit, the higher, lower on the signpost, higher number for light passenger and high speed. That could get annoying. So we're leaving Lancaster and heading into the lumpy country. There we go, we got another neutral section coming up. I meant to hit the pause button so zoom in on that sign, but I didn't. But there'll be plenty of opportunities later on. So I'm reducing power back to 0. Where's the pause button? Let's do this. Power's off, tap changer off. They don't want you either braking or accelerating going through these because you get big arcing, sparking things, which is not good. So we're at the neutral section. Just before this next junction, shut up! Just before this next junction. Right, you'll see magnets in the track. Right, here we go, this is a neutral section. So you've got, that's the sign saying you're coming into the neutral section. Those are magnets that tell locomotives to cut the power. It breaks the circuit, and then you've got to reset the loco, as you saw at the last neutral section there. So I've already wound the power off. Power's disengaged, brakes are disengaged. I'm okay for going through, just coasting through this section. The magnets tell it to disengage, then re-engage after that. And then once it's through the neutral section and you're back on power again, you can just wind the power levels back up again. The advanced warning is that sign, but a negative of it, so it's white lines on a black background. And when you see those, you start reducing the power, taking the power off. Okay, that's how it works. I've gone through, stop winding the power up. That was a sign of halt, so halt. There you go. Tap changer clicking up again. I think I was a bit early there winding it up. You can tell when you've got AC available because the white light lights up. And we're off. After Carlisle, on this, the neutral sections aren't actually live, they're not working. So it won't trip out. You do see some of them, you do see some of the signs, but the actual route that it's using, that the Carlisle-Glasgow, it's a much older route, wasn't designed to the same standards. I don't mean the actual railway, but the route on Train Simulator. Nobody figured out how to do a neutral section back when that route was developed. on the display down the bottom there, it's showing that the fastest speed limit, the 125 speed limit for lightweight and advanced passenger trains and things. Not the speed limit for this train, which is only supposed to do 110 mile an hour flat out. I think that's the end of a steam railway comes off Carnforth, and if I remember right, the line to, is it Blackpool or Morecambe branches off here. Significant sidings and freight yards and things. Well, significant-ish. It used to be a major station, not anymore. They've fenced off the platforms on the West Coast Main Line, so it's actually going to see a fence on this one. No longer in use. Don't know when that was fenced off. I seem to remember stopping at Carnforth en route a lot of years ago. And getting off the flat bit, we're getting into a hilly bit now, starting to climb for the is it the Lake District or is it the Paninis? The Pennines, I don't know. Mountainy things, anyway. And getting close to Shap. So it's useful not having those extra 3 carriages that I should never have put on the end of that train. I'd love to know why that editor keeps on crashing. You can hear the speeds coming off now because we're going up a 1 in 134 hill. Even with 5,000 odd brake horsepower, which I think is what these things have got. Something like that. Stop it. Coaches is able to slow it even on a slope like this, and when it gets to beta, yeah, we'll feel the speed come off of beta and Shap. You see, as we slow down, if you watch them, you'll see those needles climbing on the ammeters. I suppose if it was a steep enough hill, it might get to a level where you could get wheel spin. Get wheel spin. The way the effectively traction control works on these, the anti-wheel spin, it starts notching down the tap changes and it applies sand and it applies a little bit of braking all automatically. Well, because I'm doing this in decent weather conditions, I don't think we'll see that. No matter how badly I drive. the top of the tap changes, or we're on weak field, or 138 I think it is. Almost back in the green there, because the faster electric motors are turning, the less current they're drawing, the less amps they're drawing, and the less they're liable to overheat. At low speeds, that setting, you trip them out or burn them out. Motorway we keep on seeing is the M6 running parallel to us ish. Keep on crossing back, going up the same valleys, so it keeps us company a lot. There it is on the right there, the red wagon on it. The West of Scotland line, especially with steam, that gets quite entertaining. If you can find a steam loco on this game that actually works reliably, that could be a challenge. Section ahead. Winding off the power again. It's really annoying when you go too far and go into the cut it off automatically all of a sudden setting, because then you can't get any power until it's wound all the way down the box and starts again. It's alright. There's the neutral section, there's the sign, there's the magnets. That's the power off. That's the power back on again. Speed was lost because of having to wind the power off and then wind the power back on again, going uphill. So this is optional. bleaker. Apart from all the grass and trees. Oh, stop it. That's the nudge down button. Let's try going the right way. I think I'm back to full power or one notch off it anyway. Yeah, I'm on full power now. Close to, was it Grey Rig where there was a really nasty accident where I think a set of points failed or the track failed and somebody going incredibly fast crashed incredibly lots. Is it called Grey Rig? Something like that. Lamb Rig, maybe that's it. Little black line in the red, in the white circle, that's a repeater for the signal ahead of it because the signal ahead's obscured. If it's diagonal like that, it means the signal's green. If it isn't diagonal like that, it means it's not green. Coming up, it's around about there that they had that really nasty accident on the West Coast Main Line. Quite a few years ago now, I think. I believe people were startled, if not worse. Perturbed and maybe even vexed. These more repeaters because we can't see the signal ahead. One looked blocked, the other one looked clear. The horizontal line meant that particular one is blocked, that'll be a divergent line off to the left, and then the diagonal one means open. Diagonal line being a barrier up, horizontal being a barrier down, in effect. Tells you which way you're going to get signal rather than just start winding the power off because we're going into a downhill section and a 90 mile an hour speed line, 80 mile an hour speed line. A slight downhill, but not too much of a downhill, and the power's nearly all the way off anyway. That's the M6 on the left, so we're just entering the Shap now. Oh, do shut up. Somewhere off to the right, there's a beautiful old viaduct there. Quite a landmark when you're actually driving on the M6. More power required because we're going to get back up the speed limits again. And the old line used to diverge off to the right. You can see it just, the remainder of the track bed on the right there, joining past it there. Too much power on. I'm not going to get to the 100-mile-an-hour limit quick enough. Back off a little bit. Just accelerate nice and gently. Oh, do shut up. That's not bad. This is Shap. Don't know how many times I've driven through this. Many on the train. There's a repeater. Signal on the head's green. Start winding the power up to full. Get a run at the next neutral zone, which is before the end of this. And then we're into a big climb as we start climbing the hill at Shap. Advanced warning, but never mind. Reducing the power levels for the neutral section. You can see the speed of the train dropping. Disengage it. The big clank. Got power. Oh, shut up. And there we go, neutral section, there's the magnet, power goes off. Wait a bit. Power comes on. Start winding it up again for the next hill, because we're going into quite a steep hill next. We go into the climb up Shap next. On the way to Shap Summit. It's something else. So we're just about to cross under the M6. There we go. Power's on max. That's the M6. This in the old days of steam must have been hell. Well, they wouldn't have had a beeper like that. That's quite a steep hill for a train. train simulator and thinking about Dovetail games in this here sim. The locos you get with it are not a patch on this. This is a separate locomotive built from Armstrong Powerhouse, which is way superior to anything Dovetail can produce. And the sounds and the dynamics and the way they accelerate and brake and everything behind works on them so far, so much better. Trap summit. I think the next significant station is going to be Penrith. I don't think there's any more in between us and that. Then it's Carlisle, Lockerbie, Carstairs, I think, where we hang a right and head towards Edinburgh. Summit. There's sidings here, and there's one of the standard scenarios on the standard route. You've got you're taking a freight. I think it's diesel powered. You're taking freight from this here siding, heading south. That's all I can remember about it. Right, so we're on the summit. We're off the slope, so I'm going to start backing the power off. I really should have started doing that bit earlier. Shut up. Away with it. Did it about right. That sign said 95 mile an hour for us. So once the back end of the train clears it, let's head up to 95. We're on to quite a downhill section now, so we'll have to get ready to back the power off fairly rapidly. Section coming up in just over a mile, so I'll reduce the power tip off. Get ready to apply the brakes. to accelerate once the brakes are off. And that's minimum brakes. I've got either this or no brakes at all. Nothing in between. And a beeper. Oh yeah, speed's picking up once I let the brake off. Instrument lights, that's it. Holding me back. I don't think I've got any brakes on. Let's try a bit more. Neutral section. Right, so brakes off, so I'm not trying to waste current. Put it back onto the aileron. Put it back into the grid. That's why you don't want to be braking either or accelerating when you go through a neutral section. Just want to be coasting. Do stop that. There we go, neutral section. Power he go. Power he come back. Still going down a grade. Let's just see what happens with that amount of power. Oh, it's nearly on full anyway. It might be on full, can't quite tell. Oh, it is on full. Just to demonstrate a thing, if I accidentally move that lever back too far, it cuts all the power off, so all the acceleration stops, everybody on the train that's still up falls over, and you've got to reset it. So if I do that now, clank, power's dropped away to nothing, current's dropped away to nothing, everyone's fallen over and is now shouting at me, and I can't do anything until that step changes round its way back down to zero. Nothing happens. No power until that gets to zero and I can reset it. The big clank. There you go, the big clank. I can now start winding the power on again. We do have reducing speed limits ahead, so not going to bust a gut, put the speed back onto it. it down to low power levels, I suppose you can just wind it, cut off the last little bit. Right, 75 coming up. Tap change in the off position so I'm getting the rheostatic braking. One more. You can hear it making automatic adjustments. That's the brakes back off. Approaching Penrith. Let's just go back and put a little bit of power on because I'm not stopping it. Section, there you go, there's the black side, so wind the power off again. It's a pain if you stop at this station because you just start putting the power on to wind it up, you hit an uphill, then you've got to cut the power because you're going through a neutral section. So you get a bit of accelerating done, then you've got to wind the taps right the way back down to 0. Oh, do shut up. And then go through this. Power off. Power on. You can hear the fans all winded up. And crank the power on again. So that was Penrith. Next stop, Carlisle. Or next not stop, Carlisle. Where you've got another cunningly placed neutral section. There you go. Onto full power again. According to the current display at the bottom, we're approaching Plumpton Main, which is Plumpton Down Main. It's called Down because we're heading away from London. We're heading towards London. Doesn't matter where you are in the country, if you're heading towards London, you're going up. So I'm guessing trains were invented by a Cockney, although I know it wasn't. Locos and all these electrical multiple units and things, they don't have tap changes. They don't need to wind up and down the box before every neutral section. They just pass over the magnets, something clicks everything out of circuit, pass over the next magnet, something clicks it all back into circuit again, transparent to the driver basically. Which is nice. Crash, keep on going, thank you. Just checking to make sure the screen recorder was recording the screen. I had a sudden moment of panic. Fairly close to Carlisle now. We're just about to pass Southway, where there's a service station on the motorway, not the railway. Just going to reduce the power a little bit. Normally where I move the lever too far and reset the whole damn system. Don't want to be over 100 because we'll soon be braking for Carlisle. Slightly for a bridge. So I'll go through this bit, think, okay, speed up, and then suddenly I realise I'm I'm almost at Carlisle. Get it wrong every time. The slower speed limits. It's only a game. I'm just using the speed limits on the head up on the head down display. Stop to winding the power back down again. Across the M6. We're now the right side of the M6. Carlisle's getting closer. I think this is the hill. The approach to Carlisle, so I'm going to start backing the power right off. Probably completely wrong, I want to get this bit wrong. So do 95, we're less than 1.5 miles from a 75 limit, which is the approach to Carlisle basically. I think. I don't see much Carlisle yet, but I'm going to start braking anyway. Yes. Significant breakage. That one. No, that one. Got to go all the way down to 20 mile an hour for that next bit. Reduce the brakes. They're the warnings for speed reductions. Plenty of them. So we're now coasting down the hill into Carlisle. There's a neutral section on the hill, which makes it good when you're not supposed to brake. Too much brakes. Too much brakes. Too much brakes, come on. Why is it still stopping? I don't think I cleared enough brake alarms. Oh damn it, it's gone into emergency, I think. That's a pain. Oh well. There's a novelty, I don't often get it that wrong. Brakes off, in forward. Apply some power. Brakes are coming off now. Those are the brakes on the loco. Slowly dropping to 0. Let's give it a bit of power. Oh, I got that well wrong. Obviously didn't clear enough klaxons. Not even in the 75 limit and I got it wrong. Oopsie doodly. We're not far from a neutral section. I'm not going to put any more power on because I've got to drop to 20 anyway. Just get it rolling again. penalty before I'm in the neutral section because you're not supposed to brake in neutral sections. There you go, brakes off. The electrical doohickey is disengaged. That's the line from Newcastle underneath. And the cord that connects it to this line on the right. And the line down to the Lake Districts, Workington and all that down the coast on the left coming in, if I remember right. Sorry, left. I didn't see the Newcastle, the neutral section. Must have passed it. Just a few clicks just to keep it going. So this is Carlisle Station. Takes me back to my school days. Just adjusting the power just to keep me, just try and keep me 17, 18 mile an hour, that's good. Notch it up, single notches up and down just to keep the speed about right. Stop that cursed thing. Victoria Viaduct. Used to be a hi-fi shop on that. I used to lust after things in there. When we were a lad. Just get the speed up a wee touch. Rejoin the main circuit, the main West Coast main line. Can't remember the name of the car park on the right. It's been a while since I lived there. Last bridge was Victoria Viaduct. This one is, what's this one called? Colgate, I think it is. And there used to be, when I lived there, there used to be a goods line that joined from the left, but after a derailment, they didn't bother repairing it and just shut it down. So it's all gone now. But if you buy the right era of Dovetail on this Trainton Classic, one of the routes has actually got it modelled really well with that bypass bit and old steam yards as well. There we go, we've got more speed available, 60 mile an hour. Carlisle Castle on the right. There used to be a brewery on the left. Long gone, I think. I can't remember the name of it. Jennings, I think it was. Shut up. So we're now leaving Carlisle. Over the river Eden, I think. Freight lines on the left that are going into the marshalling yard. That's all but gone now. Not a lot left. Winding the power up. The river, something else there. One of them was the Eden and the other one wasn't. Kingmill Traction Motor Depot. I remember as a school kid going to an open day there.
Dead yards around Carlisle, all in there, back from the old steam era. On the left there you've got what used to be a huge freight yard, Kingmore. Not a lot left of it these days. They built it for a demand that never really happened. I think it had hump shunting and all sorts set up for it, just as it all went out of fashion. RAF 14MU on the right there, the old RAF depot where they've a bunch of workshops and things, and I think during the war probably an airfield. Can you tell I used to live around there? That's still Kingmore Yard on the left. There's a lot of it. This bit, because we're on a much older route, they're not actually modelled, so you could just leave full power on, but I'm not going to. I'll wind it down. That's it there. And that line on the left is coming out the north end of the yard. Let's just see what's tripped us. And the line on the right is the entrance to the yard from the north. I don't know whether it's the same in this country, but in the States, these long entry lines where I suppose you can queue trains are called the yard leads, I think. Probably not the same in this country, but I don't know. And let's be honest, I don't really care. When I was a school kid, this is my favourite level crossing for watching trains. I was a sad twat. You could cycle to get to that one. The river Thingamby again. I think that was the. You've got the river Colview and probably something else. I really should look at a map. I've forgotten all this. It's so many years since I lived there. Do stop that. Off to the right, the track that will diverge off into the Longtown Armament Depot. The last I heard was still in use. And last time I saw the inside of that depot, there were locomotives in it, so I hope it's still in use. Again, that was quite a few years back. But certainly within living memory. So yeah, we've crossed the Solway now. There's the thing on the right going into Longtown Armament Depot. Speed building, nicely. Coming out of Longtown, going on the older versions of the trackage, in older versions of the Dovetail routes. There used to be a code that came out heading north, which is, you can just see the earthworks over there. because there was another oil depot. Oh, do shut up. There's another oil depot off to the left there on the line that goes through Annan and out to along the 333 and out to Stranraer, the ferry ports for Ireland. That line just headed off there. Speed limit to drop in, so we're now in Scotland. I think. Just adjusting the power to try and keep the speed roughly right. Failing miserably as always. Quintin Shield. If you look that up on Google or Wikipedia, there's another horrendous train crash here. I think it was a head-on with steam locomotives because of a cock-up with signalling on the points front. I don't remember any of the details, painfully obvious, but it was a bad smash. That's where it was. Caused a lot of changes in safety rules and things, to bring a lot of safety systems in after that one. Because I'm on full power and losing speed. Brakes are off, aren't they? Yep. Shadowing us, we've got the A74 or the M74 depending on what era it's being modelled. I think it's the M74, this is the reasonably modern era. As I said, we're up that slope, we're picking speed up again, Kirkpatrick flagging. Again. Places where I used to live. Oh, shut up. Scenarios for this. Don't know the name of that castle on the left, but you can see it from the A74 as you're driving up and down it. Probably the M74 as well now, it's been upgraded. Don't remember the name of that. Yeah, if maybe somebody's taken this lot and built scenarios for it. I've never gone searching for them. I can't even remember where I got the files to turn it into one long group. If I do find where I got them from, because it was on a different computer, I'll add them to the comments underneath it. As people say, the doobly do. But I'll need to look them out and find where they are, see what's changed and see if it's been updated. not even going to try building scenarios. It's so flaky I can't edit a train, so trying to build scenarios, I don't think it's going to work. It's an old game. They've sort of been plastering over the cracks and keeping it going. Typical Dovetail fashion, hasn't ignored the bugs. They do exactly the same with Train Sim 3. Oh, that was a neutral section with Train Sim 3. A lot of bugs get ignored and things, so I spend most of my train simming time on Run 8 because it works. It works well, it's just that you can't play with electric and you can't play with steam. And it makes a change doing this. I think the biggest change is recognising places that you've lived. For me. Village on the left where I used to live, Edinburgh. And there's a neutral section, so I seem to remember them building it. I'm not sure whether it was built not long before we moved there, or whether it happened while we were there and they electrified it while we were there. I can't remember now. Too long ago. But I remember it looking very new. There's a village on the left, part of it. Doesn't look too different. Right, okay, that's the warning for the neutral section. Clicking down, there it is. We had a shop there, we did. My sister married somebody from there. And they're still married. Which is nice. Okay. Neutral section coming up. So we're just about to pass on to the A74, M74, whatever you want to call it. Here we go, neutral section. Cycling there, wasn't far from my house and watching the trains. Not much else you can do in a Scottish village. So the A74 is off to the right now. We're out the other side of Edinburgh, we're heading towards Lockerbie, where I used to go to school. This route as brought by from Dovetail goes through Motherwell and goes all the way up to Glasgow, and it's got quite a good set, a fair amount of the Glasgow network modelled. It's good, you've got quite a choice of routes. However, I've chosen for us to go right at, it's either Carstairs, is it Motherwell, is it Carstairs? Carstairs we hang the right at, and then we go over the big hill towards Edinburgh, and finish up at Edinburgh Waverley. Edinburgh's quite nicely modelled. Back under the M74 again. There's a really annoying quirk on this. Don't know why, but when you do the quick drive bit, you get around these. There's that one. You get around this bend. And it puts you into a passing loop for no reason whatsoever, and I didn't catch it early enough. It's now got into auto brake. It's now got into braking. Is it? Yes, it has. Another emergency stop. I keep on hitting the wrong acknowledge button for the alerter. There's one button for the driver's vigilant thing, and there's a different button for the alerter, and I went for the wrong one, which is incredibly annoying. But we were going to have to slow to 40 anyway, so what the hell. It's twice I've done that. At least. Oh, okay. Right, so it's on full rear static braking. As we come to a standstill, rear static braking doesn't work when you're almost at a standstill, so you'll see it starting to bring in the air brakes. winding them down. It's cool. Oh, there we go. There's the air brakes coming on now. And we're at a standstill. But brakes on, brakes off. Let the brakes disconnect. There we go. That's the brakes coming off now. That is quite annoying. Right, a couple of notches of power. No more current than that because it's getting close to triviality time, and I really don't want another trip. Every scenario that uses this line, it always puts you through this damn loop where you should be hammering through. Sorry. That's the warning for the switch, points, whatever you want to call them. And that's the signal saying it's taking us off and through it. It was at amber, so does that mean the one ahead's red? Or is it just because it's divergence? I'm not totally sure. Cut the power a bit. I'd love to know why it does this. It does it because it's a dovetail route, that's why it does it. This is Lockerbie. But I remember getting a fish. Do shut up. But I remember buying fish suppers for 20 pence for my school dinner. Now we've got a green light to take us straight back onto the main line and into Lockerbie Station. Yes, that's right, this is what the plane landed on. Over to our left. On one of the housing estates, if I remember right. Limit, and now we're out of it. Geese some power, let's get going. Oh god, hello cat. Don't you dare break things. Don't tread on things. Oh no. Give me peace and get out of the way of the buttons, you. Do without that, Merlin. Where are we? Oh boys, I can't see. Oh, I'm maxing out the power, I can't sell. Oh, we're okay. Oh, I used to to go to school somewhere off to the left. There's a canopy up there. And we're off. Leaving familiar territory for me. One cut on my knees, right in the way. There's something on your fur, what's that? Oh, it really gets in the way when you're trying to press the button to stop getting another emergency stop. What's that? Rice? Not a word. Totally off familiar territory, thinking about it, because my father used to run a grocery shop, Necklefecken, and we used to do deliveries up and around this area. One name I remember vaguely was something called Bowland. Nowhere near the railway, don't they? Another clutch. I don't know. Well then, off you get. Down you go, cat. Go on. Fuck off, cat. Go away. Sorry, buddy. Go on, these cats. Right, so we're heading towards Beta next. Oh, Jesus, cat. No, you can't, come on. Cats. No. Don't want you on the keyboard, don't want you on your hands. Yes, I know that bit seeps. Don't like it seeping, but it seems to like seeping. And everyone these days will heal up. Yeah, all good. Really? Well, don't lick it. No, you can't go on my knees. My knees are busy. Oh no! Oh, Jesus, cat. There's times when cats can get a bit of pain. Quite literally. Right, so we're on full throttle, doing 90 miles an hour, up towards Beta, where we start going up a lot. Determined to lick my fingers successfully. Don't you dare lick that bit. I don't want to go septic. I know the voice is recording okay on this. I did check it before we started. Geography, it was a long time ago. I know it's Scotland, I can tell that. HABD, I can't remember get my phone. Stand for crossovers, so no idea. If I swap screens and try and Google, I'll probably crash the game, but it's not very resilient against me losing the focus and getting it back again. It's one of the worst for that. Better than it used to be, but it still gets upset. Section coming. Burn that down. Are we going to get a warning sign? There it is. Got winding the power down. On this bit of track you can ignore them. They're not actually, they haven't actually modelled the cutting out bit. There we go. There's a neutral sign. There's people there making sure it all works. Let's say that's long enough. Wind the power back. The A74 coming back across. M74, sorry. We're approaching Beta, the start of the climb. Steepest bits must have been horrendous on steam locals again. As bad as Shap, I think worse. At 40 mile an hour for the passing loop on the left. Sidings for Beatic, and this is the start of the hill. Ouch. Yeah, some of the track modelling on this is a bit brutal. So we're climbing a 1 and 80 now. You can hear us slowing. You can see the current start to build in the traction motors on their gauges there. Yes, I am on full power. Speed's bleeding off. More than enough power to get up here, but it does slow down a fair bit. M74 off on the right on the hill over there, some traffic on it. Speed limit's dropping, but we're in no danger of speeding. Several emergency stops. Sorry. I think that's as steep as it gets. Signal ahead showing it's clear. We're getting close to the top. Elves on the foot, we've got another neutral section coming up. Right, that one. There we go, there's the neutral section warning. What's it? Out of gear if you want. Out of circuit if you don't want. The intersection starts. Transformers and stuff. People doing things. Let's call that the end of the neutral section. One of the significant bends. That's the power doing, it's alright. Cut the power back slightly. Fast enough for those corners to me. Bend tightens up as well. Just easy bit of power off. 95, that should be okay. Supposed to be clouds, there's blobs on the hill, I'm not sure about that. It's peculiar. 90 litre coming up. Probably less for us. Back the power off. Should be enough. Across the board. This looks like a really uncomfortable ride. Damn it. Needs to let it reset. That was the wrong button. Oh, can they pick me for pressing the button? That's handy. Right. Oh, okay. It's winding itself down to 0. I wish it wasn't that. I wish it wasn't the E button for that. Plank. Right, okay. Put the power back. Armstrong Powerhouse, they use a lot more buttons than the standard buttons that come with the train set. Although I think that is a fairly standard button, this is not one I've had need to use much. I think we're getting not too far off to Carstairs now. Maybe 10 miles. Probably completely wrong, but I don't think it's that far to Carstairs. Section's actually on the junction. Carstairs, I think this is quite a nasty bend, so I'm going to take some more power off. was looking for. Basically, it's crossovers. Drop it to 100 mph limit. Does that mean more bad bends? Have I forgotten? Yeah, maybe we're further away than I thought. Here we go. Not that far away now. Power. Killing the power. Applying some breakage. It's now braking with the rear settle braking as well. We need more brakes, I think. Neutral section coming up, which I mentioned earlier on. Start blending the brakes off now. And we've got unhammer because we're hanging right here. Need more brakes, going too fast. I'm speeding, I don't care. Well, I do care. I'm also in a neutral section, so I shouldn't really be braking. And down to... Come on, slow down, you swine. Right. And we're down to 15. Lost track of whether I'm in the neutral section or around the other side of it. I'll think about the other side of it. Where's the UK? I can't see it because it's under split level computer test. Cats are not a match made in heaven. Because the keyboard's on the bottom level to stop cats treading on it. I've got a cat on the top level with the head right in the way so I can't see what I'm doing with my fingers. He likes it there. He likes to help. And it also means he can lick the manky bit on my hand and make it go septic, which is nice. But you can't exactly put a plaster or a bandage on. And it's manky. Oh, we're out the 15 limit, we're into a 30, right, okay. On our left, you've got Carstairs Prison, which is a prison for prisoners and such like. Which will be behind that there wall that's on the left. this is really the last leg of the journey. Next stop, Edinburgh. I'm guessing maybe another half hour, so we might be done. We're coming up to 2.5 hours of videoing, so it might be a 3-hour video this whole journey. Not bad considering it's a fair old distance. I keep on accidentally applying the emergency brakes. Right, let's go. Let's beast it. That's enough power, I don't want to trip it. I've done that too many times already. Back to full power. It's quite a long hill, this. Not sure whether we'll get to top speed or not, but we'll try. Carstairs on the train, but I've never been up this here line. Don't remember it anyway. I'm pretty sure I've never driven around here. Sure, there's significant up, but not on this bit, obviously. Might even have to back the power off. This part of the route came from, because I don't think it's on the West Coast mainland bit. I don't think it's on any of the Edinburgh bits that I've got. So maybe somebody wrote it for this link. What's it on now? Let's try and find details of where all this came from. You had to have the individual route bits, but then it was a free download from whoever wrote the bits to glue this all together into one nice long route. Whether they actually mapped this bit or not, I don't know. Oh, the neutral zone, no warning sign of that one, so I'll ignore it. Got onto a steep bit now, speed's bleeding off again. Traction motor's slowing slightly. Bird and the cat's watching the land going past. I think he's watching the power lines. At least he's not in the way of the screen for a change. All my hands.
If I was still a working man, I'd be worrying right now. I'd get my sleep. But I'm not, so I'm not. And I won't, and I don't. Sitting next to the microphone, just watching what's going on screen. Top of that hill, I don't think that's, I don't think we're halfway yet. How far? 19 miles to go, it says there. So I'd be surprised if this is the top of the hill already. A lot quicker than it would have been in a Class 37. I'll do a video with that one, maybe the other direction. Maybe in bad weather. Say that and do the western line to Scotland, or whatever they call that route. That's an entertaining route. And the Armstrong Powerhouse Class 37s are working sheer beauty. And we have maybe got to that 11 or 12 minutes left. 17 mile. That's not bad. So I'll cut the power back because we're going down the other side. Reset, ready to go. Oh no. Cat's getting restless. It's going to investigate my hands or try and get on my knees. That really doesn't help. Oh, but things are going. Berlin. No. Why now? Don't you dare tread on the keyboard. Mind the hand. Mind your manky bits. Jesus can. That doesn't help, that is. I hope that's just a manky bit, not a septic bit. It is kin. It's not supposed to hurt, and it is. I've now got a cat line across both of my hands. It really helps. Not a lot. Speed's bleeding off. Oh, that's the light key, that's not the brakes. Is that brakes? That's brakes. Just put the tap changer back so I can apply power if I want to. Probably won't need to. In that position, you don't get rear static braking, if I remember right. Oh, we've got the speed limit coming down. Okay, so let's try braking now. Yeah, it's using friction brakes. If I put that back to, there we go, straight into rear static braking. And it releases the air brakes as long as it can. We're going down to 70, I think because of a bridge. Or a bend or something, I think probably a bridge. Oh, I shouldn't have moved my hands. I can't see where they are. Where is it? It's gone. There we go. It did. Now what's going on?
down on that bridge. Centre mile an hour speed limit for the bridge. Cut the brakes. Everything resets. Get ready to accelerate. Key it some welly. Give it the beans, as they say. It's not easy with a cat line across both hands. Getting over to the eastern side of whatever they call those hills, and we're now getting into the final descent into Edinburgh. Start cutting the power because it's going to be downhill all the way, I think. Settlement, not the prettiest style in the world. I wish he wasn't lying across the manky bits on my hands, quite painful. Might even film an nurse tomorrow and try and get it, see if it needs demankifying. Somewhere or other. 8 miles from Haymarket, so not that far from Edinburgh. I think Haymarket's the first station we get to. I don't think we go through it into Waverley. I think Waverley's after Haymarket, if I remember right. Actually enter from the west. It took me ages to work it out. It seemed to be coming in from the wrong angle. A little bit less power. Sliding down my nose. I can't see what keys my fingers are on. I've got a cat on my fingers. Don't move my hands in case I lose the place on the keyboard because I think they're in the right. I think they're on the right keys just now. Yep, left hand's on the right keys anyway. If brakes don't happen, the right hand's in the wrong place. Curry Hill. Oh, the speed limit's dropping down. Oh, neutral section already. Christ, that was quick. Brakes are off. Yep, brakes are off. Commit brakes. Which key does that? That one. Drop the speed to 70. So this is definitely the approach to Edinburgh now. Is it going to keep decelerating or is it going to start accelerating, picking up again? I think I'm safe. So I think these are just minor commuter stations for Edinburgh. There must be a wee stopper service or something. It's ugly little commuter villages. I do apologise. Better than my house, right enough, but what the hell. Sooner or later I'll get around to painting it. Oh, acceleration again. Little lip brakes. Quite violent, that. Apparently in the real locos it's not that loud, but you could probably, I'm guessing you could probably feel it instead of hear it. So I think what they do to get these noises, they open the doors up and get a better, so they can get a better noise, because you can't actually feel it. Just feel it with your ears. Hey Market, we're almost there. Approaching Edinburgh from the west, turning towards the south to go into the north end of the station. And if it was possible to hang a really sharp left and go back up that way, you'd be going over the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 4th, 5th, 4th railway bridge. That there Meccano thing. Joining that, whatever they call the line, the East Coast Main Line, whatever they call the bit that goes norther, towards Inverness and stuff. It goes norther and norther and norther up the East Coast. Just joining that line now. There'd be Haymarket. And if we went through this, we would be approaching Edinburgh Waverley would be the next station. But we don't go that far. Bit more brakes, bit more brakes. Bit more brakes. Please stop. Bit more brakes. And more brakes. Ooh, big brakes. Well, it's basically emergency brakes, that, never mind. We stopped and we're a bit long for the platform. Welcome to Edinburgh. I love the spooling down noises. They've got it so good. You'll have to shift, cat. We're done. That is Preston platform, whatever it was, to Edinburgh, whatever it is, Haymarket platform thingy. In a train that's too long for the platform. I enjoyed that. Because I'm sad. And out the gate. And relax.